This week on No Limits Fishing. This is our cameraman, Chris Campbell. Alright, man, that was pretty impressive first showing of the year for No Limits Fishing down in Venice, Louisiana, catching yellowfin tuna. But let me get this straight. You leave Ocean Isle Beach, you trailer 800 miles to the end of the earth, right? Don't really know where you're going, where you're at. You then travel another 40 miles down the river, and then somewhere out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, just by dumb luck, you end up on a school of yellowfin tuna?
Yeah, I hope I hope folks watching got to see the episode, and it's hard to convey the mental anguish that was actually occurring in this show. But like you said, a lot of effort, a lot of money, a lot of time has gone into play here to get to the point where we actually have bait, we have our equipment, and we are on site where we are supposed to be catching tuna. And then we don't.
Yeah, well, isn't that kind of the attraction, the legend, the lore of offshore fishing? It's that challenge of, trying to figure these animals out, and then, it's the failures, and then success. And it's just so gratifying, and, that's actually one of the, I guess, the lessons that our father tried to teach us through fishing was, to keep, I guess, perseverance, right, and then to have that pride that once you do succeed, you're going to have some self-worth there, because there are so many challenges, and to take off on an adventure like this, right. I mean, this is an awesome adventure, and I'm glad to see that you guys did find some fish.
Yeah, we did. We found fish, and we went from like zero to hero as far as the fishing goes. And just to touch back on what you said briefly, you find yourself talking to yourself a lot when you're out there, and I know I have to give myself pep talks a lot of times, and don't quit, keep at it, keep trying. And just like in this instance, a lot of times things can go from nothing to great. And what we found in that last show was a color edge outside the mouth of the Mississippi that was holding big yellowfin tuna, a lot of them, and they were very active, and it took us fishing in an unconventional way, for us anyway, which is chunking. Right. So we had screwed around and messed up and screwed this up and that up, and literally I said, you know what, we're out of bait, we got nothing to do, we got no fish, we're miles away from where we need to catch bait. I've got half of a bonita or blackfin tuna in the cooler that we caught. I said, I've heard of guys chunking before. Why not? Let's try it. And it was like being in the Ripley's aquarium. Literally, I think we cut up a half a dozen chunks of fish, threw them over, and before the last one sunk out of sight, I looked down and there's a 60, 80, 100-pound yellowfin tuna just swimming around eating them.
Yeah, and I thought the coolest thing was that you guys were by yourself. I mean, you've got these charter guys down there that do it every day, some of the best in the world. and you know, they're in left field and you guys are in the meat, so
yeah,
who knows.
Hey, you know, I won't chalk anything up to knowledge. It's nice to get lucky, and we experienced that, but the technique of it, you know, once you find the fish.
Well, I wasn't gonna mention it, but now since we're here talking about it, I wasn't there, so I don't know the exacts of what was going on, but boy, I sure noticed there was a lot of fish coming unbuttoned, or for whatever reason.
Yeah, so the techniques we fished with were important, but then also catching fish became difficult, and what we learned through the deal, number one, there was two issues that I felt like we had. Number one is there's a lot of sharks down there, and a lot of big sharks down there, and that goes with a lot of fishing, you know, where you find, you know, fish feeding, there's always going to be sharks around, but they seem to be particularly a lot around these tuna, and we had a lot of leaders get cut off, and I feel like a lot of that was either because we actually had sharks hooked up and maybe they would eventually bite through the leader. I also think that they were likely eating our fish. I think that happened. So, but the problem is the water wasn't really clear, so you really couldn't see a lot of that. You know, we did end up actually catching some of these sharks, which is what got my mind thinking that. And
yeah, you know, to be honest with you, you know, sharks, it's a catch-22. You know, you never want to get your fish eaten or have to deal with catching them if you're not trying to catch them.
Right.
They can be a problem. But the other side of that is, if their sharks are there, most likely you're in the right spot.
That's right.
They're not there for no reason. You know, they're there to eat whatever everybody else is eating.
That's right.
So that's a good indicator a lot of times when you're out there fishing for whatever. If there's sharks in the area, there's activity there, and that's a good thing.
That's right. Well, beyond that, we also had trouble with our leader getting cut beyond the sharks, and I think that was from the chafage of the mouth of the tuna. I just kind of want to get into a few how-tos before we get into the fishing action for this week. We ended up switching to some 100-pound. Fluorocarbon leader is a must when you're tuna fishing, so we went from 60 to 100-pound fluoro, and that seemed to help us out a lot. And then if you noticed in the show last week, a lot of our action started by catching fish with these little TLD 30s, which are great for wahoos and dolphins, but when you start dealing with 80 plus to 100-pound yellowfin and bigger, these guys don't do quite the job that some of the fancy gold reels. So we switched up. We had to go to a little bit heavier tackle to really be able to manage the fish, and that helped us out a lot.
Absolutely. It's always a balancing act. I mean, I think a lot of our background is in king mackerel fishing, and it's always about, you know, get light, get stealth, and we kind of transitioned that to almost all of our fishing. And so with the tuna, especially when you're not catching any, you're trying to figure out, you know, is it where I'm at or is it what I'm doing? Yeah. And so, you know, you try to eliminate the what am I doing part by going light, and that's why, you know, you start out with the 60-pound leaders and the small hooks and even the small gear. But then once you figure out, hey man, these fish are here, they're hungry, I'm not having a problem, you know, you figure out you can go ahead and ramp your tackle on up a little bit to actually have a chance at catching them, because there's no question in this world, I think we learned this back in our bluefin tuna days, these fish are big, bad, mean. They will expose you immediately. If you have any weak point in your tackle, you can forget it. They're unforgiving.
Yeah, fishing these heavy tackle fish like this, like the bluefins and then the yellowfins, of course, like you're talking about, will, you know, the best way to get good at it is to get a lot of opportunities, because you are gonna mess a lot of them up before you start to figure out what's going on and how to tighten up your tackle to where you're not gonna lose fish. But with that said, let's take a look back at some of our footage from last week to sort of warm things up, go into a commercial break, and then come back and watch the rest of our yellowfin tuna fishing adventure in Venice, Louisiana.
Coming toward the boat! Step out with it.
yellowfin. We saw some yellowfin. He ate the mullet. This fish ate this bait.
Coming up.
Nothing's up. Yellowfin tuna.
Here we go. Here we go now.
In the boat. Get in the boat.
Yeah, one! Woo! Hey, Amy, way to go. I'm good.
Hi, guys. Not a bad fish at all.
Hold that sucker up while he's still cold. You're sweating that.
Oh, there he is. You crank him right in the boat. That's how Captain Derek catches a fish. Captain Derek, what do? You just crank them in.
That's right. Who needs milk?
How you like that? We had a fish that was smoking offline. I guess the fish since Captain Derek's youth. 22-year-old, we hooked him up and the fish, boom, he just cranked him right in. Here we go, fish coming in boat. Let me get this rod ready.
No Limits Fishing is brought to you by Hardy White & Sons is a fourth-generation company located on Main Street in downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. Since 1925, Hardy White & Sons has been serving southern Brunswick County, providing fuel and gas delivery including highway, non-highway fuels, home heating oil, kerosene, regular and premium gasoline, and non-ethanol gas, specializing in delivery, installation, and servicing of LP gas tanks and LP gas appliances. For information, find us online at www.rdwhiteandsons.com. Zipline, the brand new Charlotte River Swamp Park. Located in Brunswick County, North Carolina, just minutes off Highway 17 near Ocean Isle Beach. Opening June 2015. Visit CharlotteRiverSwampPark.com for complete details and to make reservations to be one of the first to zip the swamp. The OIFC Wing and Fish Company is located in downtown Charlotte, just 10 minutes from Ocean Isle and Holden Beach. As back-to-back winners of Best of Brunswick, we proudly serve fresh fish from the fleet of boats at the Ocean Isle Fishing Center, 25 flavors of wings, and 20-plus beers on draft. Come join us for daily specials on Tuesday night for trivia, Wing Wednesday, and live entertainment on Friday.
Since 1998, Yellowfin has been dedicated to an uncompromising mission.
Nice, nice.
To provide fishing families with boats designed to be the ultimate in performance, efficiency, quality, and style, with the driest, most stable ride on the water, legendary attention to detail, and unsurpassed fishability.
Whoa!
The ultimate goal at Yellowfin is to provide families with the freedom to create a lifetime of great memories, one day at a time.
First Bank is proud of our commitment to build and grow businesses within our community. Projects like the new Charlotte River Swamp Park exemplify our willingness to stand behind projects that we feel will positively affect the local community. Visit one of our local branches to speak with a friendly loan representative or find us online at www.localfirstbank.com and let us help you grow your business. Now, back to more No Limits Fishing.
Update, update. Our cameraman's always pointed in the wrong direction. It's just the nature of the game, but kite bite, boom. I mean, just killed it out of the kite. That's Derek with a fish. Amy's got one on the chunk, and things actually are going exactly as they normally do. We have Rube catching a shark while everybody else is catching tuna. So everything is pretty much just the way it's supposed to be. And I'm on the chunk here. I'm gonna try to get another bite here in just a second.
Put the kite out. Got the blue runners from that oil rig right over there. And put that kite out, put the blue runner on there, and about 15 minutes later, it got annihilated by yellowfin tuna. And now I'm blinded.
Yeah, we still hooked up to a double header. We got Amy doing battle on a fish off the chunk. We got Derek doing battle. Kind of had it scripted this way, and it took us a while to get to this point, but we're doing some business now. Doing some business. That back there in the back corner, you're a lot better off.
All right. I'm going to you right now.
Later images. He'll come up.
There you go. So what we're doing here is we're bleeding this tuna, and we're basically cutting his gills in there, and his heart's actually located right over there. And you cut the circulation off to that, and what it does is it gets all the blood out of the meat. When this fish dies, if the blood's still pumping to his actual fat and his muscle back there, the meat gets, it's not tainted, but it's a little bit more bloody. So we try to bleed them before they die, and the meat gets a little bit better.
Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're bridling all these baits. The reason that we do that is so that the circle hook isn't embedded in the fish, so that when the fish gets taken, that the circle hook has a clear path to get hooked into the fish's mouth. So this bait, normally when we're slow trolling, we hook them right here through the nose. When we're kite fishing, I'm actually going to drag them a little further back, and I'm going to bridle them right here above the pectoral fin. So basically all it is dental floss, like so, tied into a loop. Take my bait, put it through the loops, twist it down like so, and I take the end right through so that this is the way it looks. Set that in the water. I wind my kite line back tight, last one didn't last very long on the kite. Let's see what happens here. This style of fishing reminds me of the heyday of the bluefin tuna fishery when we were not only catching them out of Moorhead, but then back down out of Ocean Isle. This is very similar. The fish are a little bit smaller, but the technique's the same. When you got two fish on, it's a big problem. But when you got one, you get the angle right here midship, and we circle the fish. Here he comes right here. Here's the fish right here in the water.
No Limits Fishing is brought to you by formerly Marine Service Center. The new Sportsman's Choice Marine located on Highway 9 in Long, South Carolina has been serving your boating and outdoor needs for 20 years. Come visit our new showroom and check out brands such as Yamaha, Carolina Skiff, Contender, Triton, and many more that are on display daily. Whether you're looking for a new toy on the water or need service, the staff at Sportsman's Choice looks forward to the opportunity to earn your business.
At Sea-Tow, you don't just get help, you get a fleet of help. More boats and more experienced captains means Sea-Tow members receive help faster. Membership is inexpensive at only 46 cents per day, and that's for complete coverage, from fuel drops to jump starts to a timely tow home. It's 24/7 peace of mind on the water. Become a Sea-Tow member today for just $169 a year and know the country's premier on-water assistance fleet is standing by. Sea-Tow.
Here's a myth. Having an insurance agent costs you more money. The truth? An Allstate agent can save you a bundle by helping you get all of the discounts you deserve. Discounts for safe driving, anti-lock brakes, owning a new car, paying electronically, having more than one policy, and more. All told, the Good Hands offer more than 30 different car and home insurance discounts.
The new Ocean Isle Fish Company restaurant and GMAC Tiki Bar is open air, on the water dining at its finest. Come and be part of the show as fishing boats arrive at the dock daily, offloading their catch, and watch as the freshest fish on the coast moves from boat to kitchen to your plate. The Ocean Isle Fish Company restaurant, located at the base of the Ocean Isle Beach Bridge.
The Ocean Isle Fish Company, where our fish are always fresh.
What do you get when you take this guy, his son, and his son, and put them to work? You get 3 generations of the best HVAC company around. You get Al Fulford Heating and Cooling, a Ream Team top contractor that takes great pride in service after the sale. Over 40 years in the industry says a whole lot. So trust these guys for quality Ream home comfort solutions, as well as innovative geothermal technology and a whole lot more. Al Fulford Heating and Cooling.
Now, back to more No Limits Fishing.
This is our cameraman, Chris Campbell. He's a city slicker. He's got soft hands. So don't expect a whole lot out of him.
So Chris, all day you've watched us endure pain. How do you feel now?
Right now I'm not feeling too bad, but that's likely to change here in a minute. I think he still has a lot of juice left in him. We'll see.
A little easier behind the camera than the rod, I'll have to say for myself.
Physically, yes. Mentally, watching y'all catch fish all day.
Chris, was it everything you thought it would be?
No, a lot worse. A lot worse.
What kind?
Well, I'm holding Chris Campbell's, our cameraman, fish. We thought he might be a big tuna, but that was one big shark. He didn't bite through the leader till right there at the very end. Great job, Captain Chris. All right, well that was a great yellowfin tuna adventure. As you can see, we had some super success today. All sorts of different techniques we used. We caught fish by chunking. We caught fish by live bait slow trolling. We caught our biggest yellowfin tuna kite fishing, which is incredible. Awesome bite to see the fish come out of the water and take the bait. We left plenty of fish there for everybody else. We got our butts whipped on many occasions, and the sharks got their fair share as well. But a great adventure. Good job to our anglers and even our cameraman Chris, who got on the end of a rod and reel. Good job to all. We have lots of good eating and still some work ahead of us to clean all these fish.
No Limits Fishing is brought to you by...
Here are the keys, man. It's all mine. Parenthood isn't gonna change me. I'll still see the guys every weekend. Please, I'm still king of this castle.
You're gonna love the backseat pocket.
It's not like I'm gonna get a minivan.
Life can surprise you, so can an Allstate agent. Now they can save you $3,000 on a new car with the Allstate car buying service. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
What do you get when you take this guy, his son, and put them to work? You get 3 generations of the best HVAC company around. You get Al Fulford Heating and Cooling, a Ream Team top contractor that takes great pride in service after the sale. Over 40 years in the industry says a whole lot. So trust these guys for quality Ream home comfort solutions, as well as innovative geothermal technology and a whole lot more. Al Fulford Heating and Cooling.
Formerly Marine Service Center, the new Sportsman's Choice Marine located on Highway 9 in Long, South Carolina has been serving your boating and outdoor needs for 20 years. Come visit our new showroom and check out brands such as Yamaha, Carolina Skiff, Contender, Trident, and many more that are on display daily. Whether you're looking for a new toy on the water or need service, the staff at Sportsman's Choice looks forward to the opportunity to earn your business.
Hi, I'm Captain Brant, and this is Braden and Caroline, and welcome to the Ocean Isle Fishing Center, where we have everything you need for fun on and around the water. Of course, with all of your fishing equipment. Braden, what do you like?
The toys.
What about you, Caroline?
I like the cool clothes.
Awesome. Well, we welcome you here to the Ocean Isle Fishing Center, located at 65 Causeway Drive, next to the Ocean Isle Fish Company on Ocean Isle Beach.
Now, back to more No Limits Fishing.